Reloptix VR prescription lenses may be your best option to ditch the glasses when you're playing VR, and here's why. Let's focus in. Now, I've been lucky enough to test a bunch of different lens options for the Quest 2 and the Quest 3 from different companies, and I really do think the Reloptix lenses do stand out as being unique, and I wanted to do a dedicated video going over the details of the lens inserts, because if you're in the market for these lenses, then I do think Reloptix should be one that you should consider. Now, the first question is the price, and this is actually what I like about the Reloptix lenses, the Reloptix company, is that it's one set base price. And right now, with the shooting of this video, it's $79.99. This could change depending on if there's sales or if the price goes up. $79.99, no matter what, plus shipping. But what's nice is that if you have a high prescription, high nearsightedness with astigmatism, same price no matter what. And this can be different compared to other companies. If your prescription goes up, then usually they have a extra charge based off your prescription. Now, in every set of lenses that Reloptix makes, they make an aspheric high index lens, which makes the lens thinner and lighter, and they use that on every set. You get an anti-reflective coating or blue light coating, and that's free. That's just on the set of the lenses, depending on what you choose. It also comes with a 1-year warranty if you upload your prescription to them. And the details of the warranty, I can put a link to that in the description if you want to check that out. Also, if you have Prism in your prescription, which is unique, and we'll talk about that here in a second, also doesn't increase the price at all. So really makes it really easy. They have one set price, no matter what your prescription, everybody is paying the same price. And like I've done before, I have a price comparison chart. So if you wanted to compare prices with other companies, I'll put that link in the description below the like button. Next, let's talk about the actual lenses, what you're looking through. And like I said, every set of lens that they send out is an aspheric high index lens. And this really comes in handy if you have a high prescription, high astigmatism. That's when the lenses tend to get thicker and heavier. And with the high index lenses, it makes the lenses thinner and lighter. And so it's really nice that that just comes standard on every pair that they make. I tested for chromatic aberration. Usually that's found in polycarbonate type of lenses. It's a type of plastic, and that's where the colors of light get refracted differently and kind of get scattered within that lens. And with their lenses, didn't have any chromatic aberration. Like I said, it comes with anti-glare or blue light, depending on what you choose there, and that's free, just add it onto the lens. And every prescription that I got from Reloptix, I took it to the lab, measured the prescription, and it was right on the money for me. So that's something you shouldn't have to worry about, is if they'll get your prescription right. It's been right on the money for me. And if you are a person that has Prism in your lenses, Prism kind of helps with aligning your eyes just right. If you have double vision, there's sometimes Prism in your glasses that helps with double vision. And there are a lot of VR companies that don't even offer Prism options in their lenses. And so that is something more unique to Reloptix, is that you can put Prism in the lenses and it's all included in that set price, which is really unheard of. And so if you have Prism in your normal glasses prescription, definitely look at Reloptix. The other thing that can be more unique to Reloptix is if you wear a bifocal or progressive glasses, you can actually upload your prescription or include that add power. In your prescription, you'll see an add power, and that's the add or additional power that they use for making your bifocal or progressive lenses. You can actually include that in your Reloptix order. Now, the lenses that are made in VR, they're single vision lenses. They're not a bifocal, not a progressive, and they're single vision set for distance focal length, not near, so you're not using your bifocal or progressive power. But when you add that add power in there, Reloptix can actually adjust the prescription or adjust the power of the lens to be more accurate for that VR headset. So a lot of VR headsets, their focal distance is between 4 and 6 feet, and they can take your add and progressive power and adjust it a little bit to make the image clearer when you're playing VR. And this is something you really don't see with other companies, so this really is unique. Now, just to be clear, when you are putting in your prescription, you are putting in your distance prescription. You're not putting in your reading prescription or your computer glasses prescription, you're putting in your distance prescription, and you need to be specific that it's your glasses prescription, not your contact lens prescription. Those two prescriptions can be different, especially if you're dealing with astigmatism or higher powers above 4. A lot of times those prescriptions will be different, so make sure that you're uploading and putting in your distance glasses prescription. Now, as far as getting a specific VR written prescription from your eye doctor, that is possible. I actually write those for people. If I know what headset they're using and their prescription, I can adjust for that. But sometimes doctors might be confused. They might not know the ins and outs of VR headsets. And so that can be a little iffy. Maybe they'll put a near prescription in there when it should be a distance. And so it's probably best that you just give Reloptix your distance prescription with your ad power, and they'll adjust it for you. They'll take out the guesswork. And so it kind of eliminates any kind of hesitation or guesswork. If you have the right prescription for your VR headset, Reloptix will figure all that out. And if you need help reading your prescription, you're kind of confused what the numbers are and what they mean, Reloptix actually has a prescription instruction website that kind of goes through everything. And I'll put that link in the description too, because it's actually kind of helpful where they can go over every number and what it means. And so it really makes it easy for you to put in your prescription. Now let's actually talk about the adapter insert, which I think sets Reloptix apart from other adapters from other companies. They went all out on this design. And specifically what I'm talking about is the Quest 3 design. They'll have a specific design for your specific headset, which, by the way, they make these adapters for all the major VR headsets out there, including they'll have one coming out for the Apple Vision Pro. And so likely, depending on the headset you're using, they'll have an adapter for it. But by far, theirs is definitely the most unique, especially when we're talking about the Quest 3 adapter, stuff I am not seeing anywhere else. Now with the magnetic design, what's really nice is they actually have 2 inserts for pegs that go in there. And actually what makes that nice is once you get it on there, the top portion with the lens doesn't move or rotate. With other lens companies, they have magnets that are on there, which is great. But what makes it a little bit tricky is sometimes the lenses might be a little loose, or they might move just a little bit or rotate. And when you're kind of talking about astigmatism lenses, you don't want them to rotate at all. And these don't rotate at all because they're in those pegs, and so it just locks them in. Another thing that's nice, it actually has a little clip on the inside by the nose that actually kind of guides your lens in there, so you can just actually slide it in there, and that clip holds that lens in there, so there's less chance of it falling out, which even if that clip was there, I don't think they'd fall out. But it really just locks it in there, so that's definitely more unique too. Makes it way easy to put them in and take them out. On top of that, they have these little tabs that sit on the outside of the lenses, and you can use those to put the lens in and take the lens out. Makes it really easy. In fact, that's one of my favorite parts compared to other lenses. If you really are going to be passing your headset to other people, maybe in your family or your friends, and you need to take that lens out, you just grab that tab, boom, boom, pass it off. It just makes it really easy. The other ones, without the tab, you actually have to kind of make sure you grab the top part, not the bottom, so you have to kind of jostle it loose, and then you pull it off. Still easy, but whew, this makes it really fast. And on top of that, they designed the whole adapter to be really thin, especially on the nasal side, so there's less chance of it actually pushing up against your nose. And if you actually compare this to the Zenni lenses that are not the magnetic style, they're just the clip-in style, these are about the same thickness. And so the low profile on this with the magnetic design is just crazy how well they've done this. And on top of that, another thing, which I think is probably the best part about this adapter, is they put the bevel of the adapter near the bottom. Other lens companies actually put it in the middle or on the top. And the reason why this is so beneficial, if you are one that has a higher prescription tends to make the lenses thicker and heavier. And because they're using the aspheric design and high index, it'll make the lenses thinner, but on top of that, it actually is lowering the lens down. So even if the lens gets thicker, the profile is still low compared to other lens companies. In fact, you can check out this picture from a Zenni frame and a Reloptix frame. This is the same power of lenses, so you can actually see the difference in that profile there. And if you're worried if maybe where they put that bevel, it's going to push or scratch on the actual Quest 3 lenses, Well, they actually did a test there, a water droplet test, where they put droplets of water on the inside of the Reloptix lens and then put it on to see if the Quest 3 would squish those water droplets, and it didn't. So there's adequate space between the lenses. It's not going to touch each other, not going to scratch, and at the same time going to create a much lower, thinner profile, which is amazing. This will lessen the chance of your eyelashes rubbing on the lens and dirtying up the lens. And so just that fact alone, that design, especially if you have a high prescription, look into Reloptix. A lot of people ask me about field of view, FOV with different lenses, and with Reloptix, I really didn't notice much of a difference. In fact, a lot of the time I forgot the lenses were there. And so I really don't think you need to be worried about Reloptix restricting FOV or anything like that. There might be a little bit, but compared to other lens companies, they're about the same. And the other question is, hey, is it gonna, pinch on my nose, or is it gonna touch my brow? With these and other lens companies with the Quest 3, it seemed like all of them did great with the nose area, but it seems like my eyebrow, maybe I have a protruding eyebrow here, but I could feel it a little bit, but that's how it was with other lens companies too, and it wasn't really pushing on there or hurting or anything. Like I said, forgot that they were even there. If I was being picky, I could feel it a little bit, but really you can adjust the Quest 3 a little bit to where you actually don't even touch it at all. So it's nice. I wouldn't worry about that either. Another thing that I thought I'd mention is the actual case that it comes with. Definitely unique compared to the other companies. If you have the lenses in there, then likely you won't be using the case as much. But if you are taking it out and you want to put it in a case and you want the case to look cool, then Reloptix is the way to go, because it's definitely unique. Looks like a super sturdy, like military case. I don't know. I like it. I like it. I like just having it around. I don't know, it just looks cool. And also every set comes with a microfiber cloth so you can actually keep the lenses nice and clean. And another thing, I just like the company. They're made in the USA. Great guys to work with over there and super honest. If you have any questions, you can reach out to them. They're really good at answering any questions. They have a really big Discord community following on there. And so they really are out there just helping people use their VR to the best that they can. And if you want to see how these stack up to other lens companies, I'll put the link to that video that I did where I compared all the different lenses there if you want to check that out. And don't forget, I put a price comparison chart down in the description. I hope this video helped. Have fun in VR and stay focused.